introduce them, of course, I wanted to open up our session for today with a prayer, and of course, somebody who has gone through this program not once but twice and has his own experience to share for each and every one of us. So I wanted to invite Tito Joe, and he has quite the experience to share with each and every one of us.
Hello, good afternoon. My name is Joe, and like Shane had mentioned, this is my second time attending this or participating this BLC program. Just wanted to give you a little bit of a background. I was on like 6 different meds the start of the program, but thanks to BLC, Dr. Hans Deal, and attendees like Old School and Phyllis and the rest of the people that are here, you're probably going to get around and meet them later. I'm out of my simvastatin. For those that don't know what simvastatin is, that is an anti-cholesterol medication. Upon joining the program, my cholesterol reading is now at 160. So needless to say, thank you. Needless to say, the doctor is very pleased. He wants to see me again in June. He wants to come back and do the recheck. But I think it's going to be even more favorable because, was it 2 weeks ago we had the Jumpstart program. So during that program, there was no, it was just fruit and whole grains. So if you can just imagine what the blood reading is going to be like, if it was 160, maybe my A1C is even going to go even, is even going to decrease even more. So that's my next goal. I'm still a work in progress. Still a work in progress. So I want to get off my metformin, which I'm in right now. My blood pressure medication is just down to losartan. For those that are in the medical field here that are present, I was also on metoprolol. Metoprolol is true. It's also a heart medication to regulate your blood pressure. So that's down. So I'm down to metformin and losartan, Dr. Deal. So thanks to you, thanks to Shane, and thanks to this BLC program, and all the supporters, the nurses and the doctors that are actually mentoring us. So I urge you, give it a try. If I can do it, you can. So if you're experiencing the same challenges as medication and having to get out of bed and you're weak and you're not as energetic as you were when you're back in your teens and your younger years, this is the program that will make that change for you. This is the program. You have the right mentorship. You have the right members. You have the right people to talk to. This gentleman standing next to me, he's making me nervous, but this gentleman that stands next to me, this guy doesn't do this as often. We have firsthand, in-person, mentoring us here. So and you can talk to him, and you get firsthand knowledge of what the program is all about. So, yeah.
Let me clarify this. Are you saying that you are taking down the amount of medication for diabetes?
Yes. Slowly.
Your diabetes is beginning to improve?
My A1C is starting to go down, yes. Yes.
People may not know what A1C means.
A1C is, I believe, Shane, if I'm not mistaken, that's your baseline for 3 months.
Yeah, for the blood sugar.
For the blood sugar, right.
So your diabetes is beginning to reverse itself and begin to heal
starting
itself.
It's starting to.
And you're losing weight.
And my pants used to, I didn't know that you have actually a waist. You know what I mean, right? That if you actually pull up your pants, you can wear your belt. So that's another, that's another premium, doctor.
Did that create some problems at home?
A little bit, because I have to put a notch in my belt. But other than that, there's no issues. Yeah.
I mean, the family all is getting along with this kind of a new concept
yes, they
of
are.
living that way.
My son is on the program.
Nicholas
my wife
doing well, right?
is also in the program. And what better, this is ideal because now we're all grocery shopping looking for the same type of food. So it's not like they're going to be getting some sugary desserts.
So it's-
or
So it's
processed
less,
foods.
less conflict.
Yes, absolutely.
And you're probably saving money too.
The budget for our food has gone down tremendously, yes.
You know what you do with the rest of the money?
Where do I do it? What do I do?
The pastor is ready, waiting for the offering.
Ah. So that's killing two birds with one stone. I'm helping the church, and I'm helping myself and my family.
It's really
so,
great.
yeah.
Thank you for sharing that with us.
Yes.
There's another person that came to me and said, I lost some weight. I mean, I didn't go around and
At least 10. At least 10, but
10
more.
pounds?
Yes. Yes.
and you stopped eating.
I'm still eating. I have to.
You
though.
stopped eating.
Oh, I did. No, I did not. It's more
The right foods.
intelligent eating.
Ah,
Yeah,
very good.
intelligent eating. Yes.
An intelligent man.
Yeah.
Okay.
But Dr. Deal, Shane is signaling me that we need to pray first, so I kind of went in my testimony. Is that okay if we pray?
Yeah, sure.
Everybody? Okay, let's bow our heads for prayer. Dear Heavenly Father, kind and loving God, creator of heaven and earth, Lord, this is our time to even worship you even more. We give you back all the glory for all the things that you afforded to us. The blessing of this Sabbath day, the blessing of roof over our head, and this place of worship that we're in right now. And we are blessed, Father God, because you sent us angels, messengers, to help us live our lives in a healthier manner. Take care of the temple of the Holy Spirit. So, Father God, this is all about you. We give you all the glory for the things that we're going to talk about today. Bless all the presenters, the medical professionals that are present here today, and all the hearers alike, Father God, because we know this is a blessing coming from you. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Thank you, Joe, for such a powerful testimony. There's a lady that saw it today. What is your first name? Now, may I?
What happened was I started with the grains that you gave us, and I said, "Oh, what is this?" I said, but so what I did was I soaked in the water overnight, and then my friend cooked it like a rice, and I said, "Oh, this is very good." So I started eating that, and my friend is helping me with my diet also. And so I started with fruits and vegetables. That's all. Now I'm even afraid to eat candies or something, you know. But now I'm used of eating fresh vegetables, of course, steamed vegetables and fresh fruits. And I make a smoothie in the morning, and for my like rice is the grains that you gave us, and the fish, steamed fish. And I don't cook with oil anymore. I just cook it, fry it with water. And
Listen to this. I mean, this is really a very, very radical change, isn't it?
Yeah.
Cutting back, not cutting back, but doing something about fats and oils and sugars and salt
sugar.
and
And
eating as they come in nature, right?
yes, and milk. It's no milk anymore, no ensure anymore, and all I have in the morning is a smoothie and steamed vegetables and fruits, and that is it. And I walk a mile every day, So far, I lost 7 pounds. So in 1 week. Yes.
We're very proud of you. Very proud of you.
Now I'm wearing my size 14. It used to be extra large.
Amen.
Or wardrobe. And being healthy inside. That's what we want. Somebody else that talked to him.
Testimonies.
Please. Yeah, okay.
Well, well, she got almost 200 apostolic. You remember when we started?
Here's the pastor's wife, who apparently was.
Went to urgent care. As you he followed something, and no, she stick to the plan, the
You were
program.
trying to seduce her
Right?
to other foods.
Yeah. That is that.
she was
is-
strong.
Yeah, that's just a joke.
Oh.
Well, and then she lost already, I think, 7 pounds. Right.
How are you doing?
Wow. Okay. When we first draw the blood and take my blood pressure, it's too high. But I have the night before that, 3 hours sleep. And so I said maybe. Then I stopped my medicine for 3 days just to experiment. Stopped medicine 3 days. It shoot up and then started to go down. I took my medicine again, and then I kind of normal again, and I stop it again. So I can feel what I have in my body.
Okay.
And it stays normal without medicine for 3 days. I know that you will not advise that. I know you will not advise that. But right now, actually I haven't taken medicine since Friday, and I took my blood pressure this morning, and it is 133 over, I think, 87 or something like that. But one thing here is this, and I'm telling, my pants is kind of loose right now. I keep on pulling it up. And
Could we have a donation for suspenders for men that are losing too much weight?
so my other belt, I have a puncher at home, and I added, I move it another hole. This, I haven't done it yet.
Okay.
But I lost already around maybe 8 pounds. I have a head start. When you said, when the program was being given, and I got that black, the jump. I started right away then, before the jump starts. So
Good.
it is what it is.
So this man became sort of experimental, which is against my advice, because otherwise it falls back on me as if I had done this. So, but you do what you want to do, that's okay. But you have also begun to really cut back on salt, sodium.
Oh, no more salt.
Oh, look at that. That relates directly to high blood pressure, right? So very good. And the weight loss also helps the blood pressure getting down. This is a new man emerging here.
However, 8 or 10, I had already did New Start, and my diabetes reversed. But after that, I backslided.
Okay.
So I am a Seventh-day Adventist slider on this program again. And so,
You are not the only backslider. We're just so glad that you folks are making those great decisions here, and that things are beginning to bring the results that we projected would come based on what you're going to do. You can take care of your blood cholesterol, you can take care of your blood pressure, you can take care of your blood sugar. These things all come down to normal within a few weeks, and within 3 to 4 days, your blood sugars come down as you make a dietary change. Nothing outlandish, you just eat foods as grown. Do Oreos come as foods as grown? No. Does ice cream come like that in nature? No. Does coconut oil come like that in nature? No. That's extracted from the coconut. So as you begin to move more towards God's original creative design, the master designer, he will also bless you in giving you the best body that you can have. Anybody else that lost some weight? Or had some blood pressure changes? Oh, Mrs. Ramos, you want to share with us?
When I started this program, my blood pressure is 224 over 93. Yeah.
Just a moment. Just to make sure that you understand what that means, your blood pressure should be more like 120, 130 over 80 or 90. When you have 224, we usually take you to the hospital immediately and we put you on medication immediately. That's dangerous because you're subject to a possible stroke. So you were very, very scared there, right?
Well, not really. I'm already used to
I
I
tried to
number-
scare her. I tried to scare you, but it was hard for me to be able to scare you.
I'm more scared when they monitored my blood pressure when I went to urgent care. So they said they put me on medication, another medication for amlodipine. So when I took that medicine, it makes me so weak and so sleepy. And I said, I think I'm used to the higher one better. So now my blood pressure is 135 over 84. Sometimes it's 76. Congratulations. And I lost 7 pounds.
And that's all in the last 4, 5, 6 weeks, right? 3 weeks? 2 weeks?
1 week.
You guys are incredible here. Really. You follow the Lord's directive in terms of what He created for us to feed the body on. And within days, within 2 or 3 weeks, you have 5, 10, 11, weights coming down. And you wondered why it didn't happen before. But now you know, right? Because you're eating God's foods. Is that right? How are you doing?
I'm doing great. I'm doing great.
You used to be 410 pounds, right? Or 413. Oh, 413. And what are you now?
317.
We're praying for her that she doesn't just fade away. Yeah. Chito, by the way, I enjoyed your music this morning with your friend there. What happened to you?
Oh, for the last week when we had our blood works, I was 197 pounds. And as of this morning, I'm 190 pounds. So 7 pounds was lost to my body weight. So I'm not happy yet. I want to make it 40 pounds. So hope everybody will strive to do that. Yeah.
We'll be watching for you.
Yeah, sure.
All right, that was amazing. Thank you, those who shared your testimony. It's been an experience, and it's always different every time. And it's inspiring because people that you see, you go to church with, and you never think that they would turn their life around. But in just 1 week, you see the changes that they are making, the choices that they are making for the better of their life, right? That's why we're called the Better Living Center. So without further ado, I want to introduce our first speaker. Before Dr. Deal goes into his lecture today, we actually have a bonus. And she's going to be teaching how to read nutritional labels. And a lot of us really don't know how to read labels. So we go to the grocery store, we just look at the back of it, and we just read, okay, this is 190 calories. What does that mean? And you look at the sodium, you look at the potassium, and it gives you an amount there. But what does that really mean for our body? So our presenter, our first presenter will be, she was here last week with us as one of our panelists. She was a cardiac nurse with Loma Linda Medical Center. She worked at the Heart Institute. She worked also at the VA outpatient clinic in Rancho Cucamonga. She also still serves as a clinical instructor at Loma Linda School of Nursing. She was a leader at the CHIP, or in the CHIP program, back when it was held at Loma Linda University Church for about more than 15 years. And she has her bachelor's of science in nursing and a registered nurse, but still she is here serving those around her in any way she can. Please help me in welcoming Miss Mary Reynolds.
Thank you. Are you guys ready for a shopping experience and reading labels? Not just lazy reading, like a package would say, I am healthy, I'm vegan, buy me. No. I want you to really look at the content, because a lot of times these packages that say that, they're either loaded with salt or sugar or too much fat. And that's what's deceiving. A lot of the food industry like to trick people, and that's how they make their money, so that people can buy all this. So all the contents from the sugar, salt, and oil industry can just say, oh, thank you for doing all the advertising for us. So, first of all, I need you guys to split in 5 groups, because I have 5 shopping bags. So if you have like 2 rows, you can buddy up, okay? So, let me see. And stand up for the group. Yeah, you need to have, yeah, and we'll pass these out.
Hello. So let's break up
Yeah.
in 5 groups.
One
5
group.
groups.
Yeah.
So if you're a leader in our BLC program,
Yeah.
please help and lead in our groupings.
Yeah.
5 each. Our 5 groups.
5 groups. Okay, with that. Okay, do you have all your, let's see, we want to make sure. Yeah. Okay, once you have your bag, I want you to take all the content out and find out which are the healthy ones and which are the bad ones. You can kind of divide them. Okay, once you look at the package content, you look at the calorie, you look at the calories, okay, and look at the sodium content.
You have to give clear instructions what to do. Just say, would you please?
Okay, so could I have quiet in the room? Shh. Shh. Okay, quiet. Okay, let's have quiet. Peace.
Do we have a man here with a very strong voice to Please, we would like you to be very quiet to Mary. She's going to give the instructions now. So please listen very carefully.
Oops. Okay. Once you look at the calorie, you're going to compare the calorie to the sodium content, and you want the sodium content to be lower than the calorie, okay? To really distinguish the healthy way of purchasing a product.
Let me reinforce it again. Look at the calories per serving. You have that number? And then look at the number of milligrams of sodium. Do you have that? Sodium? The number of sodium should be smaller than the number of calories to be a good, healthy sodium content. Are you all with me there? So sodium should be lower the number than the calories.
Yeah. And then, if you have a product that also has sugar content, it should be lower than 4 grams or 4 grams. If it's 1 gram, that's perfect. Or 2 grams is fine. As long as it's below 4.
This is 100. This is perfect. This is lower than this. That's what you want. These are calories. And this is sodium. This is salt. The salt should be lower than this. Okay. Okay, are we all clear on the two? That's the salt. Salt should be smaller than the calories. If it's higher, it's probably too much salt. Second principle, try to keep the per servings. Do you all see that? Sugar,
Low.
added sugar, it says. Added sugar. Yeah, 3 grams, yeah, it's great.
Like this, I like. If you do like this, it will not.
So if you have more sugar than 4 grams, you shouldn't eat it too often. It probably has too much sugar.
For the sugars, you're going to have below 4 grams. Yeah. And the fats,
Let's cover one thing at a time.
yeah.
Yeah. We don't want to have a scribe,
No.
do we? No. We're just asking something. Oh, pardon me.
It's 40. Calories is 45.
45 calories and salt.
Salt is.
Yeah, it's below.
If they're
That's what I told you.
finished.
All right, so let's turn our attention to Nurse Mary. I know we're excited reading our calories. So let's just take our seats. As you're looking at your food items, she's going to explain in detail what do these grams, milligrams mean in relation to the total calorie count. So she will answer all of your questions. Just please pay attention so we can hear each other. Join a group, and then we will continue on with our lecture.
Or below 9.
Yeah. Lift.
Okay, each group will have a spokesperson, okay, to describe what you find. And, okay, this is the first group. What did you find?
What I found in this one, most of the package I found is that the sodium is lower than the calories, and sugar is lower than 4 grams. Most of these, the one that we have here.
That means you have a healthy item in your shopping bag. Yes. Which one?
What is that?
Okay, for the jackfruit.
Oh. Okay, for the jackfruit can like this, it's say, what is the calorie? Calorie is 40, and sodium is 840 milligrams. That's way too high.
Yes.
The sugar is 0
Right.
gram.
Now, right, it's very bad. But for this, or it's organic, what you can do, you can rinse it and use it to make, yeah, it's a preservative.
Did you all hear this? Jackfruit, right? I didn't expect any sodium in jackfruit, except this is a commercially prepared with a preservative, which is salt, and the salt is 800 plus, and the calories is 40. So this is 20 times the amount of salt that should be in here. So you need to rinse these to get rid of the salt, or get some fresh jackfruit.
Oh, I know.
Right.
Yeah.
What else do
For-
we have here?
I know for this one, you can make like a chicken salad, and it's very tasty once you rinse all the salt content out.
You know tofu, right? Tofu? 45 calories. Sodium, 40. Is it okay? Sure. Protein, 7 grams. Folks, it's just a small portion. You have lots of protein in many of these foods. You don't have to worry ever about protein again. Is there something else that we should look at?
No, most of these are healthy.
Oh, these all healthy? Oh, very good.
Right here, except for that one.
Do you see here? Here you have unsalted sesame. Look for unsalted. When you buy beans, never buy beans in a can, because they're always briny solutions. They're loaded with salt, but you can just find a canned bean that says no salt added, no salt, or cook them yourself. You save a lot of money. Yeah.
For an item like this, for tofu, it's more new, and you don't have to refrigerate this. But
perfect.
you can make like eggless salad for a recipe like this, and it's very yummy. And you will never think it's an eggless salad.
Fruit has grown, no label.
No, just a minute. Did you just say that you can make scrambled egg with tofu?
Yes.
Have you done this before? How do you make it yellow?
Turmeric.
Turmeric. Perfect.
Here's one that is empty, but it says 110 calories. Sodium is 410. 410 against 110.
Black beans, 400 salt, and how many calories? 40, right?
410.
So you have about 10 times the amount of salt you should have in there. Do not buy canned beans unless it says unsalted.
But you can rinse it. Yeah, rinse it in water.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. All the sodium could be rinsed.
There is another one. Organic unsweetened plain soy milk. Now it says 100 calories. Sodium is 35 milligrams. So this is good. How about the sugar? 3 grams.
It's okay.
So recommended. Can
How
be
about
recommended.
protein? Is there protein in it?
Huh?
Is there protein in there?
Okay, protein is 9 grams. Very good. Very good.
How much protein do people need to have a day? A woman needs about 50 grams of protein a day, a woman. Just in that one glass of silk milk, it's already 9 grams. When you have your potatoes, you have protein there. Almost anything you eat that God made has some protein in it.
I don't know if this was done accidentally, but it is in the bag. All right.
And you notice there's no
There's no
label.
calorie, no paper, no sugar. I don't know how you.
Let me give you a little basic idea. You want to eat foods that don't have nutrition labels on them. No nutrition label. Bananas, no nutrition label. Spinach, no nutrition label. Potatoes, no nutrition label. Yams, no nutrition label. Are you getting the idea? Eat foods that don't need nutrition labels, and then you're eating God's way.
Okay, and group, what did you find?
Okay. So we thought that we had the ideal bag, because we started off with this. Well, let me start off with this. This is sorghum, whole grain. 190 calories, and then the sodium content is 0. So this is very good. The sugar is actually at, I don't see sugar, 0 sugar as well. So this is good. And then we found this. I said, oh yeah, we have another one that's also very good. Oh, this one, it's called buckwheat. It's by Eden, organic whole grain. Same thing, 150 calories, 0 sodium, and 0 sugars. Then we got down to this. And it says they're organic. And it says it's fresh vegetable, it's vegetable broth, and it's low sodium. And we found out today that it's 15 calories, and then the sodium is 135 milligrams. So this is no good, right? So this is very deceiving. We were just talking about it. So not organic is good for you. Is that correct? You still need to check the label. So thank you. This is, yes, very enlightening. We do have one question. You want?
So on this one, everything was, it appeared, well, no. Yeah, the sodium was 110. Well, the calories was 150. The sodium was 110. So in theory, that's okay, right? Yeah. Milligrams. Yeah. But my question was about the saturated fat, because it said it's 50%, and then I look down and I see coconut milk. Yes. So that's not good, right? Good. Okay. I just wanted to.
Yeah, so that's good. The coconut milk is the one that's making it not good. There's more saturated fats added in the ingredient.
So thank you. Yes.
Yeah.
Now we're smart label readers.
How about this?
This one is 250 calories, and then sodium is 350. So again, the calories is lower, sodium is higher. So this is good. It says Daia flatbread. So stay away from this one, guys. Don't buy this.
Even it's vegan cheese,
Yes.
you know, it's still loaded with fat.
Right. Thank you.
Okay. Did this group already? You already got it? Okay. How about this group?
Okay. This is organic vegetable broth. And if you don't look at the nutrition facts, it says here no salt added. But when you read, the calories is 15, and the sodium is 60 milligram. But what it says here in the front, it says no salt added. But it's 0 sugar and no saturated fats and trans fats.
Ingredients?
Ingredients, filtered water, organic onions, organic celery, organic carrots, organic mushroom, organic leeks, organic colored greens, I like that, organic spinach, organic broccoli, organic fennel, organic tomatoes, organic parsley, organic black peppercorns, and organic garlic.
Yeah. And yeah, there's no salt.
Yeah.
So the fact is, it's all vegetables that they have cooked to make this broth. It should be nourishing, even though the sodium content is 60, and it's probably natural. And you can do your own cooking vegetables in a big pot of water and make your own broth to really know for sure that you're getting the nutrients that you need to do some of your cooking. So instead of wasting your money on buying a product like this, you can easily cook it at home.
All right. We have this whole grain red burger. So the calories is 160. And saturated fats 0, trans fats 0, cholesterol 0, sodium 0. Carbohydrates is 35 grams. Dietary fiber 5 grams. Total sugars 0. No sugar added 0. Protein 4 grams. So I think.
Yeah. And this is red bulgur in a grain. Oh, you cook it just like rice, couscous.
Okay, we have this original wheat berry flakes from Uncle Sam. The calories are 220. Saturated fats, 0.5 grams. Trans fats, 0. Polyunsaturated fats. Why there's saturated fats and there's polyunsaturated fats? I don't know what's the difference. 3.5 grams. Monosaturated fats, 1 gram. Ooh. Sodium, 140. Cholesterol is 0. And carbohydrates is 43 grams.
Would be considered healthy. And yeah, this is Uncle Sam toasted whole wheat berry flakes with flaxseed cereal. So this is a very good cold cereal.
All right. It's plant-based crackers. So the calories is 70, and saturated fats is 0, trans fats 0, cholesterol 0, sodium 150 milligram. That's high. Total carbohydrates 10 grams. Dietary fiber is only 1 gram. Total sugars 1 gram. But the cholesterol is 70, but the salt is high.
Yeah, with this kind of cracker, it's not good for those that are trying to work on their blood pressure. Yeah. So it's not, even though it's a plant-based, okay, this group, oh, you already, yeah.
Okay. We have Asian Harvest Veggie. Okay. Let me stand up. And the calories is 200, 0 saturated trans fat, cholesterol 0. Sodium is 15 milligrams. 200 is the calorie, sodium is 15. So maybe good. It's 2 grams and sugar is 2 grams. Added sugar, no, nothing. So recommendatory, good one.
This is like pasta rotini. Yeah, made with green lentils, kale, spinach, and cauliflower. Pasta. Yeah. Oh.
All right. I like peanut butter bread. So this is one. I don't know if this is good. It is 210 calories. The sodium is 25. Protein is 7 grams. Sugar 2 grams. No added sugar. The fats. 22. Where's the 18 grams total fats. Saturated is 3.5. Trans fat is 0. Cholesterol is 0. This needs some comments.
Okay. Peanut butter. Do you know what he said? He said 18 grams of fat, right? How many calories is in a sample? What did you say? 210. Now, folks, listen carefully. Are you listening? Hello? 18 grams of fat is how many calories? You say that again? So every gram has 9 calories. Okay? When you have groats or oats, it's only 4 calories per gram. When it comes to fat, it's 9 calories per gram. Now this is 18 grams of fat. So how many calories is that? 18 times 9. That's 162 calories is fat. 162 calories is fat out of a total of 210. Folks, are you with me? This is 162 calories fat out of 200 calories for the whole package. This is 85% fat here. This is almost pure fat. So if you want to really be sure you lose weight, be careful with these nut butters. Peanut butters, use them, just scrape them on there because this is almost pure fat. This is 85% fat, this peanut butter. When you have almond butter, that's about 85% fat as well. So use them in small amounts. They're nutritious, but don't use them too often. What's that? Kare kare? Kare kare? Is that a peanut dish? I see. Just only use it on February 29.
All right, this one is, the name itself is Boo Boo's apple pie. Oh, this is good. This is good. All right, apple pie, all right? But it is a boo-boo, I think. It says 140 calories. Sugar added fat is 3 grams. Trans fat 0. Total fat is 4. Cholesterol is 4. That's good. Sodium is 50 milligrams. Total fiber is 2. Sugar is 11. And there is 11 grams also of added sugar. So that's a total of 22. 2%. All right. What can you comment on this?
Okay. The sugar is 11 grams, the total sugar. So remember, it's more than 4 grams. So too bad Bobo is tasting too sweet. And this is really like one oat bite consists that much sugar. 11 grams. Yeah, just one bite.
1 bite. Serving size is 1 bite. That's not enough for me. Okay. Here's an.
As I look at this one, the calories 170, this one here, where it says the sodium is 0 protein. No, I'm not a protein. Sugar. What's the other one? Sugar is 1 gram. My concern is it says potassium. Not all of them has a potassium on it. And this one is 239 milligrams and 6%. Yeah. And there's a potassium is only 85 milligrams in 2%. What's the concern about the potassium is also for the heart?
Yeah. No, it's not the sodium is 0, but the potassium, for those that are watching their potassium, they have to be very cautious about this product. This is organic amaranth, and it's a gluten-free type of grain. So if you have kidney issue, potassium is too high for you to use this kind of product, okay? Oh, the potassium level, yeah, this is a lot, 230-ish milligram. Probably like down to the level of sodium, yeah.
This one is lower. I think potassium on this one is only 85 milligrams, 2%. And that is 2.2 cup per serving.
Yeah. And this is the cinnamon oat granola with flaxseed. Yeah. Uh-huh. So,
I am promoting my company here. Kinds.
okay. Yes.
Can you provide us the computation from grams to calories?
Oh. Well, this is Dr. Hans Diel formula. By looking at the calorie of the package per serving, and look, that will show you how much sodium content has to be lower than the calorie. Yeah, if it's not lower than the calorie, it may exceed a little more unhealthy, gets more unhealthy once the level goes higher.
Is it possible to give a computation from grams to calories? Because as I've heard, if it's fat, saturated fat, or sugar, there's some computation regarding that for the equivalent to calories.
Oh, yeah. Well, again, that's according to, for fats, you want anywhere below 9 grams. Yeah. Right. But you don't want too much fat.
If it is 9 grams fat, how much is that in calorie?
The fat will add a lot of calories, honestly. And if you have like coconut oil, that will be more than a lot of fat. Yeah, especially saturated fat that you don't want in your body. And you know, with saturated fats, it can easily harden out in room temperature or in the refrigerator. It's so hard. You can't imagine how it is in your own body, your vessels.
In other words, consuming too much coconut oil is not advisable for us.
That's correct. We don't advise consuming any kind of oil, especially coconut oil.
What's the best cooking oil?
We don't promote any kind of oil at all. Olive oil is the best, but we don't really highly recommend any type of oil. That's why we like you to cook with just water or broth. Yeah, that's more healthy. I know. I know, no more curry. Okay. Oh, okay. What did you find in this group?
I'm not in this group, but I'm just. This is one one of the best that I've seen. This brown rice snaps is good, okay? Because it says right here, calories is 70, and then the sodium is 30. The protein is 1 gram, and the where's the sugar right here? Trying to look. Sugar is 0. So my husband can eat this, so he's asking if he can open it.
This is a company put out by Edward and Sons, and this is really highly recommended. You know, rice snaps. It's made with brown rice, and it's recommended by T. Colin Campbell and Dr. Ethelstein. Yeah. Yeah. Oh no, 17. 70 calories. 70 calories. No.
All right. This one is bad. My husband wants egg and fry. It's going to cook him. It's 180 calories, and the sodium is 230. Ooh. And potassium is 137. And my husband is in dialysis, so he cannot eat this. I'm just going to cook him the eggplant. Okay. Right. Crispy one. This garbage is bad. 120 calories, sodium is 130, so it's down right away. Potassium is 240, and sugar is 4 grams. So sodium is higher than the calories, so this is bad. This is the Bob's Red Hill. And the calories is 170, and sodium is 0. Protein is only 5 grams. Potassium is 97, and sugar is 0. This is good to replace rice. Yeah, millet. Add brown rice and millet, they're very good. Telling you.
Very good. And I think we got everybody. Okay.
Oh. My question is, what is the difference between groat, the whole groat, and the steel-cut oatmeal? Because when we tried the 2 pound that you gave us, the texture is way different. Where can we?
The oat groats, you can buy that in natural health food stores, like Clark's. Yeah, I'm sure Sprouts has it.
Sister Anna, I was in Loma Linda Market, and I was looking for, what's this, groats? And I cannot find it. So I asked the guy and said, oh, I know where it is. Just went straight and it's right there. I forgot the price, but it's very cheap. $6 when one bag, probably pound and a half. I have a question. What is the maximum or maybe the minimum calories a person can take per day?
Anybody interested in that? How many calories you should have a day? It depends what you want to do. If you want to lose weight, you want to perhaps not too many calories. If you have normal weight, you want to maintain it. For a woman, you want to be about 1,600 calories. For a man, about 2,200 calories. If you're working out, exercising a lot, you might want to go up to 3,000 as a man. If you're in the gym, as a woman, you might want to get to 1,800, 1,900. So these are sort of the numbers, roughly 1,500 and 2,000 plus, right? Now, one thing that we haven't really talked about yet is the importance of fiber. Fiber. Fiber is roughage. When you eat lentils, when you eat beans, you have lots of fiber there. That's why if you're not used to eating fiber, and Americans don't usually eat fiber, very small amounts, when they all of a sudden come into my program and they grab the beans, and I said, beans, 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 beans. They say, sir, you didn't know. This is an antisocial food. But it's because it comes in so fast, because we're not used to fiber. That's why the beans is giving you gas. When you are not used to a proper diet, you need to bring beans in gradually, maybe once a day, or maybe once every second day, and gradually move it up, and that would be just perfect. We are suffering from deficiency in our society. The Chinese people in the countryside, they get 60, 70 grams of fiber a day. Americans get 10 grams of fiber a day. Do you not understand why the Chinese don't have constipation? Do you know why we sit for hours in the toilet trying to produce something? The Chinese say they go in, they go out, they're done. Because fiber it's like a sweeper. And when you drink lots of water with it, it's gone. You no longer have to stand in line in front of the toilet because you're waiting for other people. Goes in, goes out, that's that. Fiber. Fiber is very, very important. It has an effect on the brain, has an effect on the intestinal system. It's perhaps one of the least understood but most complicated of all substances. It even has an effect on affecting our emotions. So fiber, fiber, fiber. We always say cut back on salt, cut back on sugar, cut back on fats. By the way, God made olives, not olive oil. Think about that sometime, okay? Just think about that sometime. So coming back, we now want to really emphasize the positive things. The positive things is fiber, fiber, fiber. And starch that is not refined, like grains, or potatoes, or yams, or Ezekiel 4:9 bread, probably the bread in the whole country. It's coming right from Corona. It's produced by a very large bakery called an Adventist bakery. It was an Adventist minister that started that bakery because he took the recipe from Ezekiel 4:9. That's from the Bible. It's right there. It's a big success story. It's unbelievable. And it has no white flour in it. It is all sprouted grains. There's nothing more healthy that I can recommend among anything that has to do with breads or some of these things. So fiber is very important.
Yeah. Ezekiel bread is easily get mold.
No, just put it in the refrigerator, it'll be fine. It's at least a week, maybe even 14 days. And if you want to help with the moldiness, all you have to do is put a celery stick inside the bag, and that will do magic for you.
Yeah. Yeah. And you can freeze it too, and just take out some slices that you need every time you need. Mhm. Right. Yeah. Okay. Well, package everything back in your bag. What?
I think you need to convince coconut milk. I came from the Philippines in the province of Quezon where there are a lot of coconuts. We cook coconuts, the coconut milk, the coconut meat, coconut milk we cook together. It's good.
So, coconut milk. Convince me about coconut milk is not good.
Next question, please. You want to keep coconut milk to a small amount because it also adds up. But the most dangerous one is coconut oil. That is much more potent than some coconut milk. So we call it even, okay? Anybody else? Yeah, Mike. That's fine. For it. Okay. Yeah.
So I have one example here, let's say white rice. It says here calories is 206, total fat is 0.4 grams, cholesterol is 0, sodium is 2, potassium is 55, carbohydrates is 45. So based from your formula, it seems that it's okay because, the sodium is less than the calories, but still, why don't you, recommend the white rice?
I had a special seminar at a Chinese church, and I recommended brown rice. They almost lynched me. We will never eat brown rice because there's not that much difference in white rice and brown rice except fiber. Fiber is different. So in general, the closer you get to the original product, in general, the more nutritional value it has. Just remember, we have sometimes the idea that there are just 20, 30 vitamins and minerals that we need to have every day. There are probably over 100,000 micronutrients in God's food. And so the white rice has less of those, if you really look for that, than a brown rice. Anytime you have something closer to the original source, you usually have a richer, nutritionally richer product. Does that make sense? I mean, from a biblical point of view, if you believe in God, that He's creator, it does make sense to me, doesn't it? And it also makes sense scientifically. Mary, you've done a fantastic job. What's the final word?
Okay. Yes.
Eating white rice, but adding germ.
Wheat germs.
This man, he wants to get around the law. I want to have some junk and I put some vitamins on top, and that makes it good. Okay. Thank you so much. You want to take this down here, or what?
Oh, I'll bring it in. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's time to stretch. We'll have 5-minute break, then we have our lecture. Okay? 5
Yeah.
minutes. Come back in 5 minutes and we're ready to go.
Yeah. Did all the groups bring their bags up? Okay.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine.
Where did you do your shopping?
Every,
Everywhere. Oh, where are the good stuff? Like stuff like this. Mark, Loma Linda. I live so far. I'll have to go visit my daughter. My daughter lives out there.
So, where's my computer? Oh.
2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Hello, everybody. Hello. Hello, everyone. Oh, 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 oh.
Can I introduce the crowd real quick on spaghetti squash?
Too fast.
Yeah. Okay, everybody, you're back in from your break. I'm introducing to you spaghetti squash. And you know there's spaghetti in here. Really? This is really a squash. And when you cut it in half, bake it 400 degrees. I put like a parchment paper to put in the oven for about 40 minutes, and then take it out. Nicely done, nice and soft, and you scrape it. Of course, you pull out all the seeds out.
You scrape it with what?
You scrape it with a spoon or fork,
Fork.
and it will come out like spaghetti. Yeah, lots and lots of spaghetti, yellow. And you could use like pasta sauce or whatever, put garlic, onion, and man, it's very high in fiber. So look in the market for spaghetti squash. You will love it, okay? And you can make like chow mein or pancit with it, and or a salad.
So you cut it in half?
Cut it in half. Remove the seeds. Yes, 400 degrees. Very, yeah, very easy. And how many have heard of kombucha squash? Okay, I know my crowd knows the squash. Kombucha, yeah. And you can eat the skin and cook it up in soup. And it's very tasty and sweet. So this is the next to a really good squash. Very nutritious, high in fiber. Okay, that's it for my show and tell.
Thank you. Now, you know that we are in a very special series called U-Turn. We're talking about turning around diseases that cannot be handled by medical care. Medical care has no answer in terms of curing heart disease. Medical care has no success in curing diabetes. Medical care has no cure for kidney disease. Medical care has no answer in curing overweight. Medical care has no real answer or cure for arthritis. These are largely self-made diseases. These are diseases that relate to how people live. And we are in a situation here in America where we are being pushed by the culture into a certain lifestyle. So when we court a young lady, we don't offer them, I have a special treat for you. I have a hot potato for you. No, it's something sweet, right? Taking them out for a special milkshake. Milkshake has 2,000 calories. I mean, you fatten her up. It doesn't make sense, does it? But that's what we do. The culture pushes us in the direction. The culture is very meat-oriented. The culture causes 1 million animals to be killed every hour in this country for our benefit. 1 million animals every hour for our dubious, questionable benefit. So we're talking now about reversing, turning around these common diseases that medical care cannot really cure. They can just patch you up for a while, and it helps, it makes you feel better, but it's not the cure. You will be always having these diseases until you die. But you can turn them around, and you can turn them around sometimes in days. In days. When you have a diabetic that's overweight, and they go into our program here, within 4 days, they have to reduce the insulin. They have to reduce the medication. The doctors have to say, we don't know what's going on, but you're doing really well. Well, for the first time, you follow God's instructions. Foods as grown. Okay. So today I want to talk to you a bit more about this, and I want to give you some studies. We have already discussed it in great detail, the science of it all, the cause and the cure of these modern chronic diseases. Chronic meaning they last forever. Okay. Unless you begin to make some changes in how you live and how you eat. Like, some of these folks have shown here today. They lose weight. As you lose weight, the diabetes becomes less, the high blood pressure goes down, your mind fog begins to lift. You have more energy. You can bend down now and tie your shoelaces again. These are major accomplishments for some people. So today, instead of dealing with the science of it all, today I just want to give you some examples from over 110,000 patients, cases that we have had in our CHIP program, the Complete Health Improvement Program, which I have conducted for 30-some years around the world. This is Intensive Therapeutic Lifestyle Change Program. Therapeutic means to help you, to heal you. Intensive Healing Lifestyle Change Program. And it means not just food, but it also means we have to get into an exercise program. We have to do something about spiritual health, trusting God. As husbands, we perhaps should give our spouses, our wives, some flowers once in a while for good measure. We want to be nicer people. We want to reach out to people. It's no longer to be takers, but we want to become givers. And that, of course, also relates to develop an attitude of gratitude, right? So I'll just give you just a few examples of some cases so that you can put a person to these kind of data that I showed you last week. Okay, so I'm giving you just some examples, and then I have also Dr. Diane going to help me later on to give one of her case studies, and you've already heard some examples here of how people are changing even within a week's time. Just to make sure that you know, we do not want to take the place of a physician to provide the medications for you that you may need. You should address any questions that you have about symptoms or medications to your personal physician. We give you general concepts here, what you can do to help yourself. But you need to work with your physician to make changes in medication because that's under regulation of the government. Okay? So don't ever tell anybody that Dr. Deal recommended to us, we don't need the statin drugs anymore for the cholesterol. We don't need the blood pressure medication anymore. No. As a matter of fact, for some of you, I actually said, I want you to go to the hospital tomorrow, to the emergency care, and get some medication. There is a place for this. When it comes to this chronic disease, however, in most cases, you are the CEO. You are the chairman of the board of health. You can do more for yourself than any physician, any hospital, when it comes to chronic diseases. Okay. So I want to give you a little turnaround here. This is my first example. I'll talk to you about an unusual man. He was born in less than favorable circumstances in Arkansas as the fourth of 5 children. Mother was taking care of tables in restaurants. Father was a butcher that was drunk most of the time, and the mother was basically the only provider in that family. Education, his education program was not very, very promising. He was a loser. As a matter of fact, he was known as the D student in school. D. And then they discovered that he had dyslexia, and that means that he scrambled his words and he could no longer read properly, and they found an answer of how to help him with that, and he went from a D student to a Dean's List student in college. He joined the police department in New York, and over the next 20 years became the captain, one of the highest ranking people there. And it was at that time that he asked some political kingmaker, how do I really become something in serving the community? And he said, well, what do you want to do? You want to become president? You want to become mayor of New York? You want to be, what do you want? He said, I don't know what I want, but I just want to be of service to people. Help me. So he said, okay, here's what I want you to do. I want you to be really, really successful as your police officer that you are, and you have already succeeded there. You're the captain. Now it's time to move on. And then they suggested, why don't you become a senator for New York? And he did, and did very well. He developed many, many friendships and political connections. And then he was told, why don't you run for being the president of the borough of Brooklyn? No, his parent had moved later on to the Brooklyn area, so that was fine. He became the president of Brooklyn, and the people loved him there. And he said, what about the next? And they said, well, why don't you run for mayor of New York? Largest city in America. And then he recognized that he had serious health issues. Diabetic, obese, fits, doesn't it? High blood pressure, fits. High cholesterol and statin drugs. Going blind on one eye because of his diabetes, fits. He's scheduled for an amputation of his toe or possibly the ankle because of diabetes, fits. Renal disease was beginning to probably creep in gradually, fits all, doesn't it? And that was the end of his career. Until he fell into the hands of one of my friends. And my friend's name is Caldwell Esselstyn, MD, from the famous Cleveland Clinic. He said, Dr. Esselstyn, is there anything I can do? I mean, these diseases are all irreversible, aren't they? With medical care. Well, I'm afraid so. However, I've written a book, he said, for the population, how to reverse heart disease, how to prevent heart disease, how to reverse it. And there are many, many books out there that are written now about reversing diabetes, reversing high blood pressure, reversing arthritis, all these things that are out there. Now, sir, I don't know if I can do anything for you with your losing eyesight. And I think you might have some opportunity to improve the circulation to your toes so that you may not have your toes amputated. And we can do something about the diabetes, and we can do something about heart disease. What do I have to do? And he said, well, eat foods as grown. You got it? That's it. That's it. Leave out the sugar and the salt and the fat and eat foods as grown, simply prepared with minimal use of these kind of things. And get yourself a treadmill in your office and get on the treadmill every day for 1 hour, work up to it, and you will be turning around and become a new man. Well, let me tell you what happened. Within the next 3 months, his blood sugar was totally normal. He was off all medications. There was no longer need for insulin. His blood pressure was normal. After losing 30 pounds, he looked good. He got a new suit, and his way was cleared to run for the office of the mayor of New York. Let's take a look. From seriously impacted patient to health restored leader.
This is the most comprehensive expansion of lifestyle medicine in the nation.
That's him.
In the nation. New York is going to change the conversation about using food not to feed the healthcare crisis, but to stop the crisis, and in some cases, like my case, to reverse some of the chronic.
very interesting is that he said, under my jurisdiction, there are almost 1 million children that get chew lunches every day. And I'm not going to poison these 1 million children under my jurisdiction with the kind of food that is being served today in schools. And so he said, I'm going to make a compromise. Mondays, in our school system in New York, public school system, Mondays will be meat-free. No animal products on Mondays. Fridays will be vegan Fridays. No animal products. He said on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, I have to make a compromise to the parents who may think I'm a dictator. So let them have 3 days the foods that they want, but hopefully they will gradually begin to move towards my foods. That's a leader. And he just took over last year, 2022. And that was the first decision that he made. Protect the children. Okay. So you will hear about Eric Adams again. He's not going to stop being the mayor of New York. This man is a man that is true blue, and when he comes to a decision that he feels is truthful and correct, he pursues it without regard any political consequences. That's, to me, a leader. So I've really learned to appreciate Eric Adams in that fashion. So now I want to tell you a story of one of my friends. Well, actually, I met her one morning in a cafeteria of the Pritikin Longevity Center, where she was eating with me cracked wheat, skim milk, and some bananas. I looked at her. She had lots of psoriasis on her skin. Not very pleasing to look at. But I began to realize, this is all skin deep. What really matters is what's underneath the skin, isn't it? And before I knew it, I began to talk with her. She told me some of her stories, and it became very obvious that when she had polio at the age of 6 years, she didn't give up because it became her motto in life. You have to master your circumstances rather than letting circumstances master you. Master your circumstances instead of letting circumstances master you as much as you can. Well, when it came to academics, she was kind of a late bloomer. She had decided to go to medicine when she was 29 years of age. Kind of late, isn't it? In those days, to become accepted to medical school as a woman was very, very rare. But she was having this indomitable spirit. I'm not letting the circumstances master me. I shall master the circumstances. And so at 29 years of age, she still hadn't even taken some of her pre-med requirements. So she had to go to college and take some of these pre-med requirements. And then at the age of 37, she graduated from medical school. 37 years of age, she took 4-year residency in pediatrics, became a children's doctor at 41 years of age, and she was a happy trooper. She was so wedded, so married to her career that she forgot about looking for a husband. And so ultimately she ended up in one of the larger universities in Los Angeles, and she became the director of health there, taking care of young women and young men. So the other thing that I should mention to you is that when she had just finished medical school, she wanted to go into the mission field for at least a year, and so she went to Thailand to get her feet wet about a different culture, and she there began to work for the Karen people. These are people that oftentimes don't have a written language. They are terrorized by shamans, and people that take advantage of these people. It's a whole group of people in what they call the Golden Triangle between Thailand and 2 other countries there, the Karen people. But when she came back again, things didn't look really too good, and she had developed now malaria, and the malaria was the worst kind that you can possibly have, and the malaria stayed with her for the rest of her life. But she was determined not to let circumstances master her, but for her to master her circumstances. Well, she was enjoying working with these young men and women, especially the ladies there, and to take care of their whims and the little pains and aches that they have. College students have too many health issues. So it was sort of, in a sense, a cushy job for her. She enjoyed it. It let her be a substitutionary mother of sorts, since she had no children and she had no husband. And then, at age 61, we find Helen Morton, MD, retired for health reasons. She could no longer work because she was actually forced to retire because of diabetes. It was very serious. She was obese, very serious. She had diabetes for 9 years on all kinds of medications, 30 units every morning, every night. And she had many, many different medications for her high blood pressure, for her cholesterol, and then they tried to help her with her psoriasis on her skin, which was very difficult to handle at any rate. And she had a deepening depression, again, which has to do with social seclusion. When you have psoriasis and you feel it on your arms and different parts of your face, it's not a very easy way to become sociable. So with the social seclusion came also deepening depression. And then one morning she got out of bed and went to the bathroom and she fractured one of her toes. Osteoporosis, which is a common disease that is found in societies where you have a lot of salt and a lot of animal protein. These are 2 factors that contribute to osteoporosis. Don't believe all these kind of things that you hear, that you have to have calcium, drink your 3 glasses of milk. The countries that have the highest consumption of dairy products have the highest rates of bone fractures anywhere. So be careful what you believe. The science is pretty clear. And so then before we know it, we also find her with about 65 pounds overweight. When you have osteoporosis and the doctor tells you, I want you to rest in bed, what happens to the weight? Yeah. So she was no exception to that. And so here's a woman that is really in big, big trouble. 61 years of age, high blood pressure, high triglycerides, irregular heart rate, painful phlebitis affecting her legs, and then she just doesn't know what to do anymore. After all, these physicians, the many specialists that she had, have prescribed all the best medications that they knew in their particular branch. And then we find this woman with a positive Pap smear test. Hello? That's serious, isn't it? Pap smear, suggested of possible cancer. She's alarmed. She calls the Loma Medical Center. She talks to one of her colleagues there, Dr. Jerry Neiswanger, and she said, Jerry, is this really the end? He said, well, actually, Helen, sometimes these tests are false positive. And I wouldn't worry too much about that right now, but we can do the test again in 2 or 3 months. We'll see what happens then. Great. However, he said, I am concerned about your health. I'm concerned about the symptoms that you have. I'm concerned about the health conditions that you're in. We had last week a speaker here from the Pritikin Longevity Center, Dr. Hans Dier. And he gave a presentation to our medical staff here about how lifestyle change and lifestyle medicine can affect very positively and beneficially many of our common Western diseases that we cannot really handle too well medically. And he said, I don't know if you would be willing to give that a shake. After all, you know, physicians don't like to go to these kind of programs, especially when they talk about nutrition and so on, because we don't really know about nutrition as physicians. And so he asked her, would you mind to consider going to this live-in program? You have to go there for 4 weeks, and they feed you morning to night. It's all foods as grown. But it's a diet? What's plant-based? What? Whole foods. Folks, are you with me? The mayor didn't talk about a vegan diet. He said, I'm beyond that. No Oreos. That means he doesn't eat refined foods. So you can be a vegan and still have a lousy, crappy food. Overprocessed. Loaded with sugar, loaded with salt, and so on. Profit-oriented products for the manufacturer. And so he said, would you be willing to go there and in Santa Barbara and spend 4 weeks there? He said, look, I'll get back with you in a couple of weeks when I have the results of the pap smear. So he called her back several weeks later, and she said, Jerry, look, we're colleagues. Just tell me straight what the situation is. How much time do you have to live? What's the likelihood that I'm going to be around next year? Tell me exactly what I need to know. And he said, look, we have done everything that we can. We had a big consult at the hospital here. We had the cardiologist there. We had the endocrinologist, the internist, the vascular surgeon, the dermatologist, and we have all the best medication lined up on the table there. And we said, what can we do for this woman who's 61 years of age? 15 different medications. And he said, I don't think we have an answer. But may I suggest that you consider what I have suggested to you before. Go to the Pritikin Longevity Center and learn how to eat real simple food. And this lady, I mean, she's an Adventist. She's a lacto-ovo-vegetarian. But lacto-vegetarianism is not going to save you. You can have all the cheese you want. You can have all the eggs. You know, it's just a partial answer. It moves in the right direction, but it's not the answer, especially when you're that sick. And so here she is. I meet her that morning in the dining room of the Pritikin Longevity Center. A lady with psoriasis who talks to me and says, Dr. Deal, how come that I am having a disease I have diseases that I find in all my colleagues that I hear, all the people that are in this program here at the Pritikin Center. They're all rich people. They just live it up. And I'm an Adventist. I'm a physician. I'm a humble person. I'm not that kind of a person. How come I have all these diseases too? What do you think? What do you think I said? Welcome to the club. Adventists have drifted in the direction of the American refined diet. We have become involved in accepting chicken here and there. We call ourselves flexitarians. Well, I'm flexible. Yeah. We have our eggs and our omelets. We have, 5 eggs a week, and we're not thinking anything of it because, after all, we're not eating meat. I don't eat my friends. You know? I don't eat Bossy, my cow. I'm okay. And so in the process, many Adventist people and Christians in general have put themselves into a false sense of security that they're doing all the right things. As a matter of fact, when I come to an Adventist church, most of the Adventists say, oh, listen, you don't have to talk to me. We're on a healthy program already. We're moving towards vegetarianism. What does that mean? That doesn't mean anything. And so she was rather stunned when I said to her, well, welcome to the club. Because we Adventists used to have a very clear understanding, but it's drifting more and more. And in the Adventist Health Study, where we studied some 97,000 people in North America, we have noticed that the younger generation is moving faster into the American lifestyle than the older ones. Are you with me there? So the future doesn't look too good, does it? So she wanted to know, she said, while we were having breakfast, do you really think this program could help me? I mean, just 4 weeks? I'm a doctor. I've never heard anything like this before, and I just came here on faith because my doctor, Jerry, my colleague, told me that maybe I should try it because nothing else is available. I said, well, I've just done the analysis on 265 patients that we've had here at the center, and the clinical results are very, very encouraging. Blood pressures come down, cholesterol drops, blood sugars drop, weight comes down, and people are happier people. They get on the treadmill, they begin to walk again, and the angina begins to diminish within 2-3 weeks to the heart. This is really working. And I think you'll be very, very happy here if you can make it through there. And so she did.